I wonder why it's only ugly and transgender people hating on me. That was a message posted in the infamous crash out of one of the most notorious AI animators of all time, the creator of Fruit Love Island. But to understand just why he crashed out this way, we need to take things back a few weeks. This was an incredibly popular development that I seem to have missed. A bunch of huge creators such as August the Duck, Cat and Chat, and Saberspark have made videos covering this. But when this was going down, I guess I was just busy dealing with VTuber P drama, so I was distracted. But long story short, a few weeks ago, an AI animated series, if you want to call it that, known as Fruit Love Island, created by an account called AI Cinema 021, was gaining immense popularity on TikTok, nearing 3 million followers in just a couple of days. As you might be able to expect, this was an
Much better. Now you guys can hear me now. Sorry about that.
AI-generated series based on the popular dating show Love Island, but instead of people, they were replaced with fruit people. They took what is, in my opinion, the most brain-rot show in history and somehow, someway had the ability to rot the brain even more. To call this quality content is like the equivalent of calling my videos suitable for employed people. Of course it's not. But why should I tell you how bad of a show this was if I can show you instead? So let's take a quick look at the kind of content uploaded to this account.
Sharita, who's hotter, Rapunzel or someone else, guys?
Okay, don't hate me, but Orangelo has that citrus thing going on. You really gonna dance with her right in front of me? Oh, relax, it's a party.
Looks like effort,
Tiny
but
Pina
it's
really
AI.
thinks she's hot shit just because she stole Bananito. Girl, please, that banana still looks at me. You bitch! What the? Bring it! Stay us!
I said stop! This isn't over!
Right, this is nothing! It is quite literally a nothing burger upon a nothing bun with extra nothing sauce on top, a side of nothing fries, and a nothing shake to wash it down. That said, with this overnight popularity came pressure. Pressure that the person behind the account couldn't hack. It also came with hate, leading to many of the account's videos being reported. They made several posts to their TikTok story claiming that it was exhausting working on the show and saying that they wanted a bit more respect for the effort they're putting in, stating, "What a lot of people also ignore is how much time these videos take. I write the script, plan the scenes, and keep redoing things because the AI generation messes up constantly. Each episode takes hours, and some of you definitely won't understand until you try it." In response, they got absolutely flamed in the replies. People were saying that this was poppycock, and to be honest, I agree. Let me show you something that debunks AI Cinema's claims. The show dropped its first episode on the 14th of March, okay? It dropped its 19th episode on the 22nd. I'm sorry to say, but if it takes you a week to produce 19 episodes of a show, then making each episode isn't hard. What on earth do you mean that clicking the redo button on your AI video generator is tough work? People used to go into the mines, okay? And they complained less than you. So people kept pushing back, reporting more and more videos, with some of these getting removed, and with AI Cinema eventually getting demonetized. This would lead to the holy mother of crash outs. AI Cinema was fuming. In the end, they would announce that they were going to put an end to the series, putting this image up to their story and writing, "Alright, fuck all you bitches, no more Fruit Love Island. Since people are so obsessed with it, all my videos banned, I make no money. I guess I'm being targeted because no other AI account getting fucked. You all heard it from Bananito himself. Bye. But the crash out would continue with several more posts, like this one where they write that half of their videos had been removed, going on to say that they're going schizophrenic if TikTok don't look at their appeals, threatening to use AI to use up water just out of spite, and saying that it's only ugly people and transgender people that are hating on them. I think that this crash outs in particular really did expose AI cinema to be a bit of a gremlin behind the scenes. What the hell did the ugly and the trans have to do with your demonetization, okay? The ugly, they're my community. Don't take their name in vain. And let's be honest here, they didn't really do anything. They are a monkey with a typewriter that just so happened to stumble into Shakespeare, if you can call Fruit Love Island that. At the very least, they stumbled into a very popular video series. The most work they had to do was click generate video when it messed up. And then making trans and ugly people catch strays and saying that you want to waste water just for the sake of it as some sort of mastermind revenge plot, I think just does speak volumes about the character of the person behind this account. Also, the fact that they stopped uploading just because they got demonetized I think speaks a lot too. They're not doing this for the love of the game, they're just doing it to make money. But ladies and gentlemen, that's just one animator, if you can call it that got exposed. Welcome to the latest episode of Animayhem, the series where I uncover the most notorious animation controversies on the internet. Still to come today, we have arguably the most severe animation controversy of all time. It's one that you guys at home have been asking for since the very start of this series. Today, we'll be tackling it. But before we get to that, first of all, let's discuss Latin America's most downfallen animator in recent memory. So I guess I'm probably going to have to introduce Magenica to you, who I'm going to refer to as Mage from here on out, because he's an animator that's very popular in the Latin American side of YouTube. English speakers probably won't be aware of who he is, considering that they don't speak his language. But a few weeks ago, I had a commenter reach out to me that suggested I should discuss him. So a huge shout out to Boredom Is Not, who sent this my way. If you want me to discuss an animator in particular, then don't forget to let me know their name down below in the comment section. Just like with Boredom Is Not, if I feature your choice in a future episode, I'll give you a massive shout out. Anyway, for a long time, Mage would upload insanely popular animation commentary videos like such classics as Infiltro en la comunidad Skibidi and Cuando Sponeas en un Isla. And these videos would be seen by hundreds of thousands or even millions. In the end, his channel grew to more than 2 million subscribers, and he cultivated a very loyal audience. Which was why it was even more disastrous that back in early 2026, he was exposed for all sorts of deviant behavior. In February of this year, a Twitter account known as Francosinator released a gigantic thread filled with a grand total of 60 screenshots and 1 video. And these alleged that Mage had engaged in inappropriate contact with a minor. Now, as I said, I don't speak Spanish, so I had to get into contact with a few of you guys on Instagram, and friends of the channel Harley and Tree, as well as the YouTuber Dantavius, helped me translate. I showed this exchange with Dan, and somehow he knew that the girl Mage was texting was calling him a submissive. Don't ask me how Dan knows the Spanish word for submissive. As it turns out, no, Mage told her that he was dominant. And this interaction tells us that Mage did have adult conversations with people. But another screenshot, this one much more damning, would tell us exactly who these conversations were being had with. This portion appears to be a Discord DM sent by Mage to his server. Please ignore the Homer, I think that whoever edited this just wanted to clown on him. My friend Harley translated this part and was nice enough to write down the passage in a document, which reads, "I want to clear up the situation with sincerity. I will not run nor lie about this topic. I had inappropriate conversations with underage fans. I never sent nor asked for explicit photos, but I did talk about sexual topics, I crossed boundaries, lied, drew stuff, etc. This is bad. I do not justify this in the slightest. Before this becomes public, I talked to the people involved. I assumed responsibility and I asked for forgiveness. I will not delve into morbid details or expose anyone. I will not attack the people who expose me. I understand the frustration and the disappointment this causes. What matters to
Yeah, no wonder why Go Animated Beyond community is so fucking toxic.
Me right now
I know
is
that.
to accept the consequences of my actions and be stricter with my boundaries and conduct so that something like this doesn't happen again. I don't expect you guys to trust my words today. Change, if it exists, will be seen with time. I don't expect forgiveness nor defense. I just want there to be a record that I'm not denying what I did, nor hiding it. There is more message here, but that's the long and short of it. Mage came out to admit to the allegations on his Discord server before they became public. But here's the thing, I don't even need to speak the language to know a bit of what he sent. The picture here that he allegedly sent to a victim tells me all I need to know. That he very clearly has a smelly feet fetish. And we know that he likes smelly feet because of the stench lines. Also, I found this in a YouTube thumbnail, again, showing his love for stinky feet. And Mage also appears to have drawn NSFW artwork of his own character, as well as plenty more pictures. My friend Tree translated the text in these images, and they're generally horny requests, like saying, make it bigger or I want it all. And this exposure led to other people in the animation community putting pieces together. Xiaro made a post saying that Mage had made an animation where her character gets cut in half and then there's milk inside of her. Xiaro, if I pronounced her name right, is a YouTuber with nearly 2.5 million subscribers. She claimed that this was some sort of fetish, which lines up with a lot of the rest of this. It appears as though Mage just kept mentioning fetishes, lest we forget the stinky feet picture. This is all to say that there are mountains of screenshots, allegations, and accusers. Mage appears to have taken public ownership of it, releasing a livestream that's title translates to, "What I did and what I'm going to do." A Twitter thread written about this states, "Bro, remember that this sicko is only apologizing because they exposed him. The guy doesn't feel any guilt, since from the videos that have come out, it's revealed that he thought the situation wasn't that big of a deal and that it could just be fixed." If you take a look at the comment section of Mage's most recent video, it's filled with heartbroken fans of his, lamenting that he became what he swore to destroy. People feel betrayed. This isn't anger they're displaying, this is disappointment. Disappointment in a creator that hundreds of thousands trusted. In all honesty, it's quite a sad thing to look at. But it's not just on YouTube that he's taken a pounding from his former fans. The same thing has happened on Twitter. Just by looking at this picture, I know what they mean. This speaks 1,000 words. And I also can guess what CP NECA means too. I absolutely love Latin American humor, I can't lie to you guys. Mage's final long-form video was uploaded in December 2024. It appears as though he didn't put any up in 2025, instead opting to switch to shorts. But upon doing so, he would gain even more popularity, achieving view counts in the millions. But for the past 3 months, since these allegations came out, his channel has been all but abandoned. I think it's fair to say that at least for the foreseeable future, Mage's absence is set to continue. Will he ever upload again? If he does, will he be shunned by his audience? These are questions that I have no answer to. So that wraps up Mage's story, but before we move on to our next one, I'd very quickly like to ask you guys that if you're enjoying yourself right now, please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also watch this video as well as my other uploads on Spotify, link down below in the description. It is ad-free if you have premium. Don't miss your chance to check it out. With that said, on to the third story of this video. This next animator is one of the most requested that this series has ever seen. And soon enough, you'll know exactly why. His name is James Bear.
Never heard of this loser before.
For the purposes of this story, everything I discuss is going to be condensed. If you take a look on YouTube, most videos discussing James tend to be 45 minutes long, or maybe even more. I do not have the time, nor the sanity for that. So this is going to be a more direct telling of his story with less fluff. In case you don't know him, James's channel was made back in 2013, and for several years he gained an audience, making fan animated videos and skits. Some of these videos were extremely popular, and even broke view counts exceeding 1 million. In one of his videos, he even collaborated with Pyrocynical. But make no mistake, behind this seemingly innocent channel, some of the darkest secrets in YouTube history were waiting to be revealed. Years ago, in early 2022, a Twitter account known as Lalo Does Art would drop a thread that would change the landscape of YouTube animation forever. Armed with screenshots and links to archived pages, they would allege that James did horrific things to his minor sister. One of the reasons we know this is this screenshot, which allegedly came from a conversation that James had with someone known as Aaron Preston back in
Oh yeah, beware.
2016. Aaron would release a document of 182 pages discussing James. A document that, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I skimmed through because there is no way in hell I am sitting down and reading 182 pages about this guy. Unless your name is Jaime Lannister, I'm not reading 182 pages of your incest story. That said, I have done thorough research outside of the
James Bear might be an Alabama gooner, right?
document. For obvious reasons, I'm going to be censoring a lot. This is one of the most taboo subjects I have ever touched on this channel, and I'm sure it's coming across on the screen. This is quite a difficult topic for me to discuss, so please bear with me. One screenshot he shared, I'll show you, but this is basically an admission to what he did. If this is legitimate, if he's being honest, words can't describe how twisted this is. He admits to doing these things, claiming that he was at the time 13 years old and she was 9. He tries to pin it on a few different factors, like the fact that he was depressed or that his father was abusive, and to me, none of that really matters.
What does it have to do with incest shit?
You don't collect a get out of jail free card for these things, even if he was a minor at the time. The pure fact is, if the rumors are correct, he did this. Plain and simple. He was the older brother, he was 4 years older. This would have been on him. Just for extra confirmation, Lalo would include screenshots of alleged ex-friends of James who reiterated the allegations. Apparently, James had told them this news himself, which would make sense considering that we have proof that he's done this in the past. In response, James would claim that much of it had been taken out of context, and even released a video trying to explain his side of the story. A video that was later taken down, but later re-uploaded onto different channels. And within that video, James would state that he had been defamed by bad actors that just wanted to smear his name for their personal gain. He would also once more try to pin this on his childhood and state that this was an isolated incident that had since been resolved.
However, as much as I don't want to talk about my past, what happened back then was an isolated issue. It only happened once when I was a minor. It was already dealt with. Those who are involved are fine and made amends. I am not a threat to anyone, and the other claims are not true. This situation is old news, and despite what you think about all of this, no one has any right to judge my past, because it was never anyone's business to begin with, since it was a very personal situation.
At this point, years down the line, anything that could have been said about the situation has already been said about it in various different videos discussing it. But I do want to remind you guys, please do not send hate or harassment his way. Now, the reason I decided to include
Yeah, but the people who tried to fuck with anybody, including me, and yeah, they're not gonna listen. They just wanted to stalk people and piss them off until they quit YouTube. For real.
him in this video is that there is actually a small update to the situation. Because as of about a month ago, he randomly decided to upload a new video titled Totally Informative Content. This video has been utterly destroyed in the comments. To be honest, I'm surprised that the comments weren't removed. People are letting him know that the internet didn't just forget, and they're repeatedly telling him that he does not belong online. And others are pointing out that this upload seems like it's trying to pretend that the allegations against him don't exist, that he's trying to act like nothing happened. If I was James, I would just stop. It is crystal clear by this point that the internet does not want him to return. He is no longer welcome online. He should keep his head low and stay away for good. The fact that he kept mentioning this years after it happened, I find to be very strange. At the end of the day, he was the one that leaked this information. If alleged ex-friends of his are to be believed, he would share it unforced and uncoerced, which to me would suggest that at least at one point in time, he either took pride in it or he didn't see it as a severe issue. This was leaked through him telling others about it. I don't know why he would tell people so freely otherwise. I don't want to speculate, but to me, he just needs to get out of the public eye for good. there is nothing more for someone who has done the things that he is accused to have done. And there is no downplaying it either. It might not be anyone else's business, but the fact that he's told people mean that they now know, and they form their own opinions about it. I swear to God, this needs to be the worst story I have ever told on this series, because if something dares top it, I am done. I'm gonna walk away from Animayhem altogether, because I mean, honestly, these animators need to get their shit together. So, I'm wiping my hands clear of the entire situation. With that said, if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more of this,
Alright, so this is done. So I might try streaming in my L4 Media Live, because I don't think this channel is working for streaming anymore, so I'll see you guys there, so peace.